Hi Aquarius, this is your April astrology for all Aquarius signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now, obviously, if you're new to the channel, I always tell everybody, check out all signs, whether it's your Sun, Moon, Rising, even your Venus, especially if you're sensitive, really, really sensitive right now. Check out your Venus. But I like to throw that out there because it helps give you a more well-rounded understanding of what's going on with you, or maybe I should say inside of you, so that you can help understand yourself and your growth, or where you're not growing. And if none of that resonates, you may still want to check out the tarot, because sometimes the tarot is what resonates. And I already posted those earlier. Actually, I feel really good for you. I'm sorry, I have a loose tooth and I just keep like pushing it around. I feel very good for you. I feel like this month's all about you. And I don't mean it in a selfish way, because you guys are the humanitarian. You like to put other people first. Or at least in a fair balance. But this is all about value, and you're finding some real, true self-value is what I feel like you're coming into. A lot of security, or you're coming into tapping into your inner security. Tapping into your inner child, too. Your inner depth, your inner truth. Your will. But you are tapping into your responsibilities. And the authority. There is still some self-deception. But, I mean, who doesn't have some self-deception? We all have some 12th house issues. I am definitely seeing intellect, details, trivia that goes with your higher mind of thinking. Your self-esteem, strengthening. Your awareness, your view and outlook, your ID, your image, your whole core, right down to your physical body. I'm seeing a lot of green for growth. Tapping into your pursuit of pleasure, your inner truth, your inner real you. And I feel like this is really good, but this also explains itself in the astrology, because you got Mars in your first house. And you got Saturn in your first house. Which is really forcing you to take action, to stand in your power. I'm seeing like sacral chakra and solar plexus healing. You're even healing rules in the relationships. But you may be having a little bit of third eye or crown issues. Considering I just had to pop my ears, everything just went like really quiet. Like I got, you know how like when you go in a plane and you have to pop your ears? I just got like that. So it may be some issues in the third eye, the throat, the third eye, or the crown. It may be that you need to hear some of what's being said to you. And you may not want to. What they're saying is for whoever that's for, what you may not want to hear is 12th house issues. And it may even be brought to you without it being said. It may be being brought to you in ways of like mirroring, because it's coming through 12th house issues. So it could be seeing someone else, act in a way that you may not like, and you may be actually tapping into a part of yourself that you need healing, making your consciousness become more conscious, making it come into more self-realization. But overall, I feel like you're really doing good with spiritual truths. But I mean, we all have some issues here. because, you know, we're all still growing, duh. So, but overall, I feel pretty good about it. Your heart is, I don't want to say that it's open, because not everybody's heart is open, but it's open for forgiveness, is open for trust and truth and acceptance in it, it seems like. But that could be also Mars being in your house, bringing in a little bit more sexuality and sacral chakra. Like I said, I feel sacral chakra and solar plexus is extra illuminated right now. But do spend time doing the things you love. Your personal interests, your personal fun. The being you and enjoying it. Do spend time doing that. It's essential. Okay, let me jump into whatever else I have with the astrology. Now, we're going to get back into your first house for a second. I mean, in a second. But we have the full moon on the 7th, which is taking place in Libra. You have, on the 3rd, Venus moves into Gemini. Then you have the full moon on the 7th. Then we have Mercury moving out of Pisces and into Aries on the 11th. You have the sun entering Taurus on the 19th. You have the new moon on the 22nd in Taurus, and there's something going on with that energy. I'm not fully sure if I'm feeling that as positive or negative. That could just be the way society is flowing, that I'm not being able to pick that up. But I'm definitely being told the 19th. So, but I'm kind of being told, like, I keep telling everybody from like the 16th through the 25th. Something's going on with that energy. Now you got Mercury that's going to be moving into Taurus also on the 27th. So when I'm starting out with the astrology, because I've been doing it with everybody, Spirit just keeps telling me, trust your spiritual urges, your spiritual truths. Trust in your, your spiritual gut feelings. Stay connected with that higher self. It won't lead you astray. And for some of you, there's some ceremonies that are important, or rituals that are important for you to make sure that you are keeping up on. Okay. But I'm starting with everybody with, that Aries and Taurus energy, because I'm being given such an emphasis on it from Spirit. And I keep telling everybody, instead of the 19th through the 22nd, let's expand that, because I'm a little bit thrown off with that. So I would say from the 16th through the 25th, you're going to feel that energy grow. And I'm not 100% sure, because that could go two different ways according to how society acts as to what that spins out around you. Now, this is going to be taking place in your 3rd and 4th house. So this is going to come down to your communication with your own inner emotional security, with your own personal foundations, with your own true, real self, and getting right with what that true, real self is. It's returning back to you, as well as your inner child. It is the home, but it's also the home. And together, they bring in your inner emotional security, but it's the truth. It's the true, real truth, the depths of the truth, that are the roots that create that security, or where it's been taken away, and you're having to acknowledge that and make those changes to correct that. But prior to that, it's starting off in your communication zone. So this could also deal with neighbors and siblings, because the communication zone is the 3rd house. This is Aries. It's very much fire first energy, me first energy, brand new cycles, brand new beginnings. You have Chiron here. You have Lilith here. Up until the 19th, you have the sun there. And you'll have Mercury in that energy. So that is extra communication in the communication house. That is the sun being illuminated in that communication house. So what you're saying is definitely coming out, being seen and heard. The communication should be also being illuminated to you about what you should be hearing. Shouldn't just be what you have to say. Because like I said, it's Aries energy. Fire first. Me first. Brand new cycles. Chiron. Learning how to change your communication for a healthier well-being for yourself is what I just heard. But also for a healthier way to communicate with the world around you. But this could also deal directly with siblings and neighbors, as well as deliveries. It could be also some gossip and communication, understanding gossip and communication, under having intellect about what you're speaking, what you're hearing, what you're saying. Something about the delivery process within that communication and knowing how to give it. You have all that communication coming in, and then on the 19th, when the sun enters your 4th house, it's going to start really tapping into that inner emotional security. Now, this is where it's going to take a little bit of a shift. That inner emotional security, that home area, the home of the house itself and your family, but it also is the home. And this is where my issue is coming in with this. It's Taurus. Taurus wants heaven on earth. Why can't I just have heaven on earth? Why is it got to be so damn difficult? Everything should be beautiful. Why can't we just enjoy the beautiful? Why can't we do the hard work and just make it beautiful? But Taurus is also just as stubborn for all the right and all the wrong reasons. Now, this is all about returning to who you truly are, getting right with who you truly are, getting right with your inner emotional security, which is your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, overcoming insecurity so that you can get right with that. But Taurus, on a universal level, is the 2nd house, which is self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Uranus is also independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. It's one of your rulers. It's the shock and awe of energy. But the 2nd house also speaks to us of security versus insecurity, the investments that went into it or didn't go into it, and possessions. Now, this could be a very possessive time. Whether it could be what I'm saying is you could be very possessive about making sure you're doing what's right for your inner emotional security. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you may be finding the world around you too. Like I said, Taurus can also, Taurus with Uranus here, can also be manipulating and controlling. Okay? And you may be calling some shots, making some controlling factors that will support your inner emotional security, support your personal foundations, and that would be a good thing. But you also may just be pushing to control, as well as so is the rest of the world pushing very hard to control possessions right now. And you know how people have been acting crazy trying to make sure that they can have all of this and all of that. So I'm just giving you that warning. Something around the time the sun comes into Taurus, and about the time it has that new moon on the 22nd, also in Taurus, the sun, the moon, Uranus, all pretty much in the same place. Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, shock and awe. Possessions, securities. I'm just letting you see what I'm talking about. But this is supposed to be about your inner emotional security and setting a personal foundation. So I'm giving you the keys and the knowledge to know how to rise up into a higher vibration through this. Because it is a new moon. It is a new beginning, the end of an era or the end of something and the beginning of something new. So this is about setting the vibration properly so that the foundation is getting set properly. You also are going to have, like I said, Mercury is going to still be in that communication house, because they're pointing out right now to me 19th and 11, 19 and 11 and that's the days that they're moving. Mercury is entering Aries on the 11th, but the 19th is what I'm talking about with the Taurus energy. So until it moves in, until it does move into Mercury moves into Aries on the 11th, and then it starts to cross over Chiron, which is the wounded healer, which is speaking to you about how you may not communicate well with others for them to comprehend and understand you truthfully, as well as how well is your communication with yourself. But up until the 11th, it's still in it's still in Pisces, which is your second house, already talking to you about your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So in a form, it's prepping you. It's helping you shape-shift. It's helping you to learn to invest in yourself and to realize what you value. I feel like this whole month is asking you, what do you value? Because if you're getting right with what you value, then it's directing that inner emotional security and helping you to find that creative outlet to make that so. But this is going to have a lot of emphasis to do with your inner communication. And for some of you, this has to do with your inner child. Because the inner child is where the inner emotional security either was strengthened or was lost. In those roots of your maturity, of your growing up, and your personal foundations. So it may be speaking to you about changing things from the way you were raised and seeing things from your new higher vibrational point of view. Not to mention, like I said, your second house also has Neptune in it, which really is speaking to you, and it's been here for many years. But you're coming closer, you're finally starting to move further into the back end of the sign, which is definitely strengthening the inner emotional security, helping you to overcome those insecurities so that you can find it. You can stand in your power without having to be possessive. You can stand in your power and have possessions, but not need to be possessive. When you're secure, you don't have, when you're insecure is when the possessions, you become like, no, give me, is that kind of idea of what I'm trying to get at. Now, let's look, because we've already been talking, let's just go straight back to your first house. We've been talking about all of your second, third, fourth house. But your first house, right now, you're very much in your power. You're very much in a passion and in a fire. You have Mars here. Passion, action, aggression. It is that solar plexus and sacral chakra. It helps you communicate with that fiery passion of what you want. But this is your self-awareness. This is your physical body. This is your personality, your appearance, how you are viewed, and are you being viewed the way you want to be? So it's coming into that fire of you, into that inner warrior versus that inner belly dancer, and really feeling confident. You have Saturn here now, which technically is still one of your rulers. So this is starting to illuminate you. And strengthen your value and your worth, which is what all of this is coming down to, is your value. Finding it and believing in it. But you have this month that self-awareness is in overdrive, because Saturn just moved in and Mars is flying through it. Mars is definitely giving you the kick in the butt, the fire in your ass, and getting you up off the couch and getting you out doing what you want, or at least putting the energy into those things that help you get back to you. But Spirit is saying something's going on with that inner child, or tap into that inner child and its creative energy, and it will help you. Saturn is only going to be here, I believe, for 4 months before it retrogrades completely back into Capricorn. So you're getting a 4-month, let me, like that fire in your ass. Let me start shifting things around. Let me stretch my wings and try new things. And let me see what I'm really interested in and what I'm not, and what feels comfortable and what doesn't, and how can I readjust me to be the better me that I want to be? Let me stretch. And you're going to be noticing that over the next 4 months, and then it's going to go back into your 12th house. And it'll tap into deeper parts of you that you're going to have to strengthen, and then come back at the end of the year and really put that into effort. So the more you are getting right with those energies now, the less hard it's going to be in the second half of the year. But right now, this month, you're in overdrive, feeling very powerful, very much in your fire, very much in your aggression, your inner warrior, your inner SWAT team. You are feeling you. And I feel like you're actually feeling powerful. You may be feeling higher dimensional. And learn from that, because that's helping you kick off these few months to help you set that new direction. And that's definitely a positive thing. But there's definitely some self-awareness and true identification within your personality that you're coming to learn to stand in that power of. Now, your 5th house, because I already talked about the first 4, is your inner creativity. Your inner child. Spirit keeps saying that. Your inner child. Your inner creativity. Your pursuit of pleasure. Your fun. What you want to enjoy. What you like to tap into. The things you want to do. Your inner child needs to play in order for life to be healthy. In order for you to have balance. You need to allow play to still be part of your life. Now, you have Venus here. And Vista. And Venus moves in on the 3rd. Venus is not love. She is your sensitivity. And she helps you to understand why you're sensitive. Whether it's positive or negative. So when things are all ooey gooey, soft and chewy, and yes, please give me more, sir, that is Venus saying, oh, I like it, I adore it, and I want more, please, But when it's somebody's taken advantage of you, somebody's lied to you, you have remorse about something, you're angry, somebody's hurt you, that's also Venus telling you why you're aggressive in negative ways. She's tapping into your feelings, your emotions, your emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physical sensitivities. With Vista here, it's your soul fire. So this is begging you to get right with that inner child, to let that inner child explore. Because the more you let that inner child explore, the more you're finding out about yourself. And the more that it's tapping into your value. You're creating you on a whole new level. You're strengthening you, which is ultimately tapping into that inner emotional security and strengthening it, lifting it, rebuilding it, bringing it back. Allowing you to play is important. But this speaks to you of that inner creativity. It speaks to you of your creative expression. This could be talking to you if you're a singer, being able to write the music or test new things in the studio. If you're a poet, this could be talking about this could be talking about getting into your you know, your writing. This could be talking about getting into learning of some things. What is personally puts interest into you? What do you want to put your interests into? And this could be lovers, this could be dating, could be, I mean, sex, it could be hobbies, anything. Your creative expression helps you connect with that inner child and balance your fun. And are you having time to have fun? That's one of the things Venus is going to be bringing up. Are you putting time into you, into enjoying life? Because that inner creativity needs to have its balance, needs to have its creative outlet, or you're actually pushing off all the things you enjoy. And this is speaking about making sure you're having the opportunity to have that opportunity. As you move into your 6th house, you have, this is Cancer. This is your daily routines. Everyday daily routines. This could be your volunteer work, your health, your diet, your hygiene. But I always say your daily mundane tasks, your daily mundane routines are the most magical part of your life. And the reason we overlook it is because it's mundane. We do it so much we don't even realize that it's the most important part. You only have 1 month here before Rahu moves back into your 5th house. But right now it's in the 6th house. And it's asking you of these routines, these people, places, and things of energies that you consume on a daily basis in your routines. Do they nurture you? Or are you neglecting you? Which takes you back to that 5th house and going, where Spirit keeps giving me that inner child. Are you getting time to tap into your creative outlet, to tap into your fun and your personal interests, those things that make you tick, make you enjoy life? Or are you so overwhelmed with tasks, people, places, and things of energies that you consume on your daily routines that you're not having time for you? Because it's imperative for you to get right with your real self. And if you're not getting right with your real self, it's because they're saying you're not taking time for those personal interests, those personal hobbies, for, you know, that loving relationship, your sports, whatever it is that is your creative outlet, which is ultimately would be taking you away from you. It's just validating. They're saying, yes, you need to have some me first energy this month. The only other thing left to talk about is that full moon. That full moon is in your 9th house. And this is probably why you're coming so into your power. Because it's Libra, which is balance and justice and harmony. You have the collective consciousness here. You have sacrifice and commitment here, which is Ura. And you have the lotus flower and its growth here. So this is saying if you're tapping into that higher self, that source energy, that higher dimensional truth, and you're tapping into what you're bringing back from that into your 3-dimensional world of your ethics, your morals, your higher wisdom, and you're bringing it back. You're the Aquarius. You're supposed to be pouring the waters down. If you're receiving those waters so that you're pouring them into you, then you're growing. This is about taking the commitment to that step. Taking the commitment to that step and the truth of acknowledging that step and allowing that step to happen. The full moon is bringing all of these opportunities up for you to really connect with that source energy, with that higher self, with your, I heard, illuminated consciousness, with your resources, your spiritual resources, with your true authenticity. If you're truly tapping into that authenticity, then you're growing and you're spiritually maturing morally. And they're just saying the more you're putting that commitment into that, the more that the true act of the transformational change is happening for you. But the more you're fighting that, the more hard work you're going to have to do the second half of the year. I love you guys. Bye.